Hey there, Patriots. Woman of the front lines. This is Death Watch here to give you guys more intel so you can update your personal armory and fight back against the fake news media machine. And today we're going to be discussing not necessarily Johnny Depp winning his case against Amber Turd, but we're going to be talking about more specifically about all the news publications, essentially the fallout of this case. Because look at this, right? This is from Reviews Possum, right? He has this he posted this collage, right? This is only a few out of a ton, right? Because I remember when I was doing all my other videos the past 2-3 weeks, there's article after article coming out trying to gaslight you, trying to make you believe that Johnny Depp was going to lose his case, right? Look at all this crap, right? This is all these fake news culture war outlets trying to make you believe, right? Trying to make the normies believe, trying to persuade people into believing that Johnny Depp was going to lose his case, that Amber Heard was the true victim, and that all the support, all the anti-Amber Heard support, all the pro Johnny Depp support that you saw across social media was all just Russian bots, right? They like to say that a lot. They're just bots, right? Donald Trump, the people who support Donald Trump, they're just Russian bots. All the people who are calling out Joe Biden for his abysmal display of handling this economy, right? Inflation, all this other crap. They're just bots. They're Russian bots. Just coming online, just putting out bad takes and all this other crap, right? Same day with Amber Heard. Anybody who is against Amber Heard is probably a bot. Somebody somewhere is just typing in a sequence and making all this anti-Amber Heard content just pop out of nowhere, right? They're all bots. They're not real people. These are not real people going out there and giving their opinion about the facts, the logic, what they actually see with their own fucking eyes, right? No, they're just bots. They're just bots online. They're trolls online, right? Look at this crap from The Guardian. The Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial was an orgy of misogyny, right? Mary Sue, this is a devastating and dangerous day for survivors of domestic violence, right? Okay, the most bizarre thing is from The Root, right? It took me a while to figure out like what the hell is The Root. Okay, this is a black publication, I guess. This is a majority black publication, and I was like, why the hell did they call it The Root? And then I remember the movie Roots, and I was like, oh, that's stupid. Okay, come up with your own naming. But anyway, they look at this headline, right? Amber Heard verdict sends a message to black women everywhere. Amber Heard's white. Johnny Depp is white. What? How does Amber Heard losing her case to Johnny Depp is a message to black women? What sense does this make, guys? Again, these are the outlets, the left wing outlets who are fueling the culture war here, and this is how they're trying to do. And this is the fallout from this is the breaking point of Me Too. Me Too ran on. We all know what the Me Too movement is. It was a organization created by people who wanted to use fourth wave feminism. Well, it started in I think 2011, 2012ish. Essentially trying to use the new feminist movement to try to character assassinate people, right? It was essentially, you're right, the first time that it started. I think it was like, I don't even know how many cases it was, right? It started with the whole Harvey Weinstein thing, right? Which was, the guy should have been called out for that bad behavior. But the problem was that guy was, essentially doing this for years, and many of the women, right, that he essentially was like, hey, you guys want to be actors, you guys want to be in these movies, well, you guys have to do sexual favors for me, right? That's terrible thing to force people to do. But the problem is, when do you stop becoming a victim of these type of acts and start becoming a facilitator? Because when you are engaging in these activities, right, if you want to become if somebody sits there and you try to become a Hollywood actor, and then somebody who's a producer or director says, well, I will put you in that movie if you have relationships with me, right? And you go ahead and do those relationships for years, you're no longer a victim, right? In my opinion, you're no longer a victim. You are now a facilitator, especially when you are hanging out with other women who were, when they were first coming into this industry, right? You were with those women. You didn't tell them that, hey, you need to stay. You either need to get out of here, get away from these people because they will do these type of things that they've done to me. No, instead you introduce these women to these exact same men and the whole cycle started, right? You no longer become a victim. You are now a facilitator of that type of behavior within that industry, right? That's my opinion about all this crap. But when it started falling apart was with Anzi Ansari, where he had a relationship with a woman, just a random woman, and she decided that, oh well, I'm going to go on social media and tell people that I had a bad sexual experience and ask people their opinions whether or not my relationship with him was sexual abuse or not. Right? She could have come up with her own, come up with her own assessment of whether or not she was abused in this like one night stand. Right? Anzi Azari literally just had sex with her throughout them having relationships. He asked her, are you all right, are you okay, and she kept telling him, yeah, I'm fine, yeah, I'm cool here, right, we can keep going, right. But then she's like, oh no, on social media she was like, oh no, when every time he asked me if I was okay, I kept telling him, yes, I'm okay, we can keep going, but in my head internally I was saying, no, I want to stop, right. She had to go online and ask people, was this assault, right? Even though I was verbally telling him, yes, I'm fine, we can keep going, but internally I was saying, no, I'm not fine, I want to stop, right? But I didn't say that to him. Was this assault, right? And like, what the hell type of world do we live in, right? You can't, if you want to stop something and the person's asking you, hey, you want to stop, are you okay, and you can't sit there and tell them, yes, I want to stop, I don't want to do this anymore, right? But you're telling him yes, and like, that makes no sense. That makes absolutely no sense. So they decided to treat him like he was some evil person for doing that. The dude didn't do anything. He asked her over and over. She said that, yeah, he asked me several times, am I okay? I just kept telling him, yes, I am okay. What the hell is he supposed to do? He can't read minds, right? And then you can take that, that case. That's where Me Too started really shaking up, to people being like, oh, hashtag believe all women. It's like, no, 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 no. You don't believe anybody. We have a court system that says innocent until proven guilty. If you have a grievance with somebody, you take that shit to court. You don't sit here and try to use it in the eyes of the public discord. You don't do it that way, right? That's not justice. That's a witch hunt. That's a mob. That's mob justice, right? And then you started having Brett Kavanaugh with Ford. I forgot her name, but her last name is Ford, right? Her whole story was shaky from the get go. All the people from her her college party or whatever she was at, they asked them like, hey, she claims that Brett Kavanaugh assaulted her back when they were in college. Did she say anything to you? Did she ever bring this up to you? They're like, what? No, I never heard anything about it. I didn't even know that happened, right? She never brought it up to us. She never brought it to anybody, right? And it was shaky, right? She couldn't even like get her story straight. She kept changing her story, but we all know why that was being pushed in the media, because they were upset that, hey, Donald Trump was going to put in a brand new Supreme Court who was pro him, right? Pro MAGA, right? We can't allow that to happen. What's the next best thing we can do? Just launch allegations, launch random allegations, and allow that to happen in the court of public opinion, right? That's how these people are trying to operate right now with Elon Musk. If you actually looked at, I should have pulled up one of these articles. Some random woman is now trying to allege that Elon Musk possibly assaulted her, right out of nowhere, all of a sudden, because Elon Musk is now trying to buy Twitter, and because he's trolling the leftists, all these leftists are now trying to make up anything they can to attack whoever they want. We know the game. This is how the left has been trying to use it. They've been using all this Me Too, hashtag Time's Up, and all this other bullshit to either further their own, career, political career, or whatever, music, money, whatever career, right? Their own physical career. They've been using it either for political assassinations, okay, political character, let's just say political character assassination, right? Launching allegations at people that they don't like politically in order to mess up their, any attempt for them to get into these positions of power or whatever, right? Or they've been using it for revenge, right? Somebody somewhere that they dated or had relationship with, because they want to feel like a victim, or so they can again further their career somewhere somehow. Hey, what's somebody that I hate, that I had a really bad relationship with, that I can launch allegations at that people will believe me, right? This is how Me Too, hashtag Times Up, all these different, all these, believe all women, all these other organizations. This is how it's all falling apart, right? From the Daily Beast, the Johnny Depp Amber Heard verdict has domestic violence organizations worried, right? Why? Because they were all riding on this. Because again, I pulled this up in my last video talking about Amber Heard, right? When you look at domestic violence, a lot of times it's more 50-50, right? It's more 50-50 when it comes to domestic violence. Why? Because women do in fact hit and attack men. It's just that men, we don't bruise easily. Men, we don't really go to the police because a girl hit us with something because she was upset with us, right? She punched us, she hit us, she slapped us because she was upset. We don't really go to the police. But if a guy happens to hit the woman in retaliation or whatever, right? That's when the police ends up getting called. There's been studies, right? I pulled up the studies that show that type of behavior, right? Okay, so if you're a person who really believes in domestic abuse, you would believe that both men and women can be victims of domestic abuse, right? Amber Heard, I believe, I believe she has a previous record of domestic abuse, right? Johnny Depp, he does not. So it's just crazy. But again, it all goes in one direction. It's all part of the same feminist, Me Too, hashtag Times Up, hashtag Believe All Women, organizations or whatever. Like I don't even know what you will call it, the cult, right? Essentially that's what it is. It's a cult, right? Because these are all feminists who have been using this movement in order to further their own physical careers in movies, in movie industries, whatever, anywhere within the pop culture space, right? Or the political space or wherever, right? They've been using these organizations, using these hashtags, using these type of resources to further their own careers against either political enemies or people within industries that they want out because they want their positions, right? That's essentially what has been going on. But, from the Federalist, the real loser in the Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard defamation drama is the Washington Post, right? The real loser in Johnny Depp drama isn't Amber Heard, it's the pathetic journalists at the Washington Post. Because the corporate media focus on only the most important things, you've likely received a hefty helping of Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard courtroom drama. Whether or not you wanted to, in case you hadn't yet heard, Depp won the defamation suit on Wednesday afternoon. The real loser in the whole sensationalized mess, however, isn't the Aquaman actress, who now owes some $15 million to her actor ex-husband. It's the Washington Post, which printed Heard's infamous sexual violence claims in 2018 that caused Depp, in his own words, everything, right? So he's going out to them, going to sue the living crap out of them, right? I think also the Sun, wasn't also the Sun that actually physically called him, because I think that's what that started first. I think it was like a UK publication, the Sun, allegedly called him like straight up a domestic abuse, right? A wife beater. I think that's what they straight up called him, a wife beater, right? And he tried to sue them for saying that, and he lost that lawsuit, right? But now he goes back and then sues Amber Heard for defamation for going out there and giving these interviews saying that she was a victim of domestic violence, right? And now that he has won legally that, hey, he was not the domestic abuser in that case, right? In these situations that she did all these interviews with, he can probably now go back out to that publication and to the Washington Post here and sue the living crap out of them for millions of dollars, right? So, again, this is mainly talking about the fallout, right? The fallout of all these left-wing publications who decided to stick with the wrong, who are essentially on the wrong side of history, right? Because they are a cult. They use these type of, resources, hashtags, whatever, organizations in order to push their leftist cult ideology within the pop culture and political sphere. Now it is all falling apart, right? And they are on the wrong side of history, and we have the records. Again, I'm pulling this back up. We have the records showing them that they are all wrong, right? Okay, how much of a shill organization that they really are, right? From Vice, the Daily Wire spent thousands of dollars promoting anti-Heard propaganda, right? And this is pretty much why, the reason why I brought this up is because Amber Heard's lawyer says jury influenced by social media frenzy and she can't afford $10 million damages, right? What the new rhetoric is now being used by these publications here is that it's because of social media, right? The jury pool was tainted because of social media. Because, again, like I said at the beginning, right, they're trying to gaslight you to believe that all this Johnny Depp support that you saw online, don't believe your fucking eyes. They're all just Russian bots. They're all just bot accounts. They're not real people. They're trolls and all this other crap, right? Now they're trying to say, well, it's because of all this, because of all the anti-her rhetoric you saw online, all the pro Johnny Depp that came from bots. They'll claim up and down they're all bots, right? Those because of this, they essentially influenced the jury member to find Amber Heard guilty. You see how it's all being played. And again, this is why I talk so much about politics and pop culture, right? Because it's crossing over. Again, you got people who are trying to use this both in the political, in the pop culture sphere. All these publications are using the exact same tactics for every single thing. You want a position of power within a video game industry or within a any company with that deals with comic books, video games, TV shows, movies, right? Guess what? You can just sit here and try to dig through all the Me Too, try to find, just toss out Me Too allegations, right? And you will be successful, right? Okay, you want to get rid of a political figure that you don't like? Guess what? Throw out some sexual allegations towards them, right? Me Too. Believe all women. Guess what? Now that's how you politically character assassinate somebody, right? It's again, all these same tactics came out of Gamergate, right? You go back to Gamergate, these exact same tactics were being used in. You go to now this intersectional feminism that's being used both in the pop culture and the political sphere. They're all using the exact same tactics, right? This is why I harp so much about both politics and the pop culture, because there's clear overlap. And if you just ignore one side of it, you're not going to get the full picture, and you're going to sit here wonder why all this shit is just now sprouting out. Why am I seeing all this craziness happening both in the pop culture entertainment sphere, but also in the political sphere, right? Because the exact same people are using the exact same tactics, because they're, at the end of the day, they're all the same people who created and really formed this way of fighting within both the political and the pop culture spaces, right? Okay, it's all one big power grab. So why does it seem like the entire internet team, entire internet is Team Johnny Depp, right? Again, comments on the live stream of the trial refer to Amber Heard as a monster, a Karen, fake and manipulative, right? Again, don't believe your eyes. Just remember, all these people are just bots. They're not real people. They're trolls and all this other crap, right? But at the same time, these same trolls, these same bot accounts definitely influence the jury to go with the side of Johnny Depp, right? From the umbrella guy, this isn't aimed at YouTubers or LawTube or social media accounts. It's aimed at specific folks like myself, incredibly average, lower B, because we dare to talk to Adam Waldman. We're pro-truth with Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard. It says we're coming for you specifically, right? This is a lady right here, Kate Tenbar. Posting from a pro-Amber or even a neutral position means you will lose followers. There's no incentive to consider both sides. As a result, Amber's evidence has been largely ignored. Many people who consumed this trial don't even know that Amber has evidence, or that a UK judge ruled in her favor for 12 out of 14 incidents of abuse she testified. Right? As Adam Waldman testified in this trial, YouTubers and social media played an overwhelming role in the perception of this trial. People who consumed their news from content creators, specifically news around this case, believe it is more trustworthy than mainstream media, right? Who has said that before? Brian Stelter of CNN. Who has said that before, right? The lady who came from the new Ministry of Truth that Joe Biden tried to put in place that fell apart. Who has said that before? Many of these social media, these mainstream media outlets who are, left wing, mainly left wing. We need to censor social media. We need to censor all these other people who are out here being real journalists, right? People on YouTube, right? I talk about libs of TikTok. Why did Tori, what's her name? Tori Lorenz, however you pronounce her name. Why did Taylor? That's her name. Why did Taylor Lorenz dox Libs of TikTok? Because what is Libs of TikTok doing? She is literally just going on social media sites, going on TikTok, and reposting what crazy leftists, teachers, counselors are saying about how they want to indoctrinate their students. Right? All she does is just repost those videos on Twitter for everybody to see. And Taylor Lorenz of the Washington Post decides that, oh, I'm going to write an expose doxing, literally doxing not only Lives at TikTok, but going to her family members' houses to try to get information. Why? Because people online, real journalists, okay, like Annie No, Project Veritas, a lot of these people, who essentially just go online and read information. They just go online, like myself. I just go online, I read information, I read all these different publications, right? And I compare, right? I look at all these mainstream publications here, and I say, oh, okay, they're all saying the exact same thing, but guess what? In truth, Johnny Depp won. They said all this bullshit. Now Johnny Depp won. Now they're changing up the story. At what point can you keep believing the lies? Right? At what point do these people think that they can keep spewing this exact same stupid rhetoric over and over and over before people wake the fuck up and realize, yo, that you guys aren't showing me what reality is. The people who are actually showing me what reality is people like the Umbrella Guy, people like Nick Rekieta. He's a lawyer. He was actually going through all these cases, live streaming all these cases, and from his experience, right, bringing on other lawyers, right, who have experience in different, criminal cases from all around, all diverse cast of lawyers coming onto his live stream, and they will break down and talk about what they've heard in these cases and how that works legally, right? They don't want you listening to these people. They can't allow that. You must consume the mainstream narrative. Anybody else who goes against the mainstream narrative is therefore dangerous. And therefore, all these different YouTube, Twitter, all these different social media apps need to censor and shut down anybody else who dares say otherwise. Dare to try to get people and persuade people to come away from that mainstream narrative and look at the actual facts. Again, this is how it all crosses over. This is where gaming journalists are starting to get, or a lot of people stop trusting gaming journalists because you had YouTubers who literally play the games and are like, yeah, this is shit. This game is shit. Right, this game is terrible. They're, IGN and all Polygon, Kotaku. These people are shills. They're lying to you. They're literally going out to these all these different gaming events and things like that, and telling you straight up that these games are amazing. They're excited for these games, and when these games get released, they're terrible. The fans hate them, but yet, even on Rotten Tomatoes will sit here and say, oh yeah, all these woke movies are great, but the Dave Chappelle special, the new Ricky Gervais special, that's terrible. You shouldn't watch it. In fact, we're going to use our influence to pressure Netflix and all these other publications to fire these people. But yet, when you look at the actual audience scores for all these specials, all these movies that the left hates, the audience overwhelmingly loves the movies. They think it's great. At what point do you stop believing in the mainstream narrative and start actually looking towards reality? Right. That's really the point of this whole entire video. Right. Is the narrative. Right. Let's go back and look at the narrative that was trying to be fed to you by the mainstream media and how it has fallen apart and how they are now trying to scramble to make up any type of excuse as to why they are wrong, why they got all of it wrong. Right? Why you shouldn't believe your eyes that, hey, it wasn't that we were wrong. It's because of all the bot accounts and all the people who are not part of the mainstream were essentially feeding into and manipulating the trial because the jury pool was tainted because of all this crap, right? Excuses. They stop believing the mainstream media. They're full of it. They're full of it. They're shills. They're here for a political agenda. They are the cult. Okay, and now we're gonna finish this video off with Amber Heard warned she could face jail time over perjury charges, right? So we'll see if any of that actually goes down. But Johnny Depp apparently, he won $15 million in damages. But the crazy thing is that, well, Virginia, the state where the lawsuit was happening, apparently only allows you to get, like, the cap of punitive damages is $350,000. So that $5 million, I don't think he's really going to get it. I don't know. It was kind of weird. It's kind of weird how all this is happening. But hey, he still can go out and sue all these different publications for literally calling him a wife beater and literally posting this information claiming that Amber Heard was being abused by Johnny Depp. He can now go out there and sue all these publications, right? Hey, so that's still a win. That's still a win, a major win in everybody's books, right? He won in the public eye and he won legally. That's how all this should have worked, right? And it has came out that way, right? So, like always, stay safe, stay sane, be vigilant, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you Patriots on the battlefield.